Reload. Ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
And I am ready. It's Sunday night. It's 8:30-ish. That means it's time for At Week's In, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics, movies, news, reviews, all that good stuff. And there's plenty to talk about. It's been a fantastic week. So we're going to dive right into it right after this. Boom. Joined by my co-pilot, my partner in crime, Sector 2815. I just saw him put those shades on. What do you got going on, Paul?
I got to wear them because, dude, you are on fire.
Oh, my God. I don't know what that even means.
You got all these shiny awards coming your way, man.
Hey, you got one coming, too. So,
oh, man. No, yeah, so well deserved.
Let's give the big thank you to the people that watch the show, hang out with the channel and all that stuff. Me and Paul do a lot of content together, from At Week's In right here on Sunday nights to the DC Deep Dives Monday morning on his channel, and Guess That Key every other Wednesday night on his channel as well. So it was really cool that this show got nominated, and it was a finalist. And then this show got one of the awards at the CBC Awards. What do you call it? Awards finalist show.
CBC Awards, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So the show won an award, which, to be honest with you, I got the Community Builder one last year and the C3 one last year, and a bunch. I've been nominated the years, but getting this show a win was really big, because this is the one that this is the show that's really started the channel. You know what I mean? This is the show that I wanted to do the channel for, was this type of content.
This is the mothership.
The mothership. That it is, in fact, the mothership. This is the one. And then, of course, the DC Day one came later, and aim to get that one next year. See if that one can get it next year too. That'd be cool to see that one nominated.
But you got channel, and you got the Community Builder Award again.
Yeah, I got Community Builder Award. The At Week's In was I think it was called Ongoing Series, right?
Best collab.
Yeah, collaborative.
Yeah.
And then Favorite Channel won that one too for the collab. So that was super cool. Super duper cool. I appreciate everybody.
You deserve
them. I don't ever ask anyone to vote for me. That seems goofy, but I do ask everyone to go check it out, because it's a great way to find channels. Like I point out, that's how I found Cliff on Comics. He's awesome. He's like a staple to our corner of the community and all that good stuff. So I'm going to jump the line here, jump the order of operations. Boom! Mr. DJ Lynx came in like King Kong, beating his chest, and gifted 10 Legion membership. So big shout out to DJ. Nice. Love that dude. And if you are one of the people that received a gifted membership, you are also still entitled to a membership welcome pack, completely free. Send it your way. Just reach out to me on any of the social medias and let me know your shipping address, and I'll shoot that your way. Appreciate that. DJ. Appreciate it. Nice. Scroll back up on those. Yeah. Also, about the awards, I do, because this show was the one that won. I do want to say, and I put a post out, but I want to say huge, massive thank you to Brother John's Comics, who is literally my what's it called when you can't go up to bat and someone else does?
Pinch hitter.
He's that guy. Since I've done this, he's never said no. He's always been there, and he always fills in for me, and he did an amazing job, so much so that I still receive snail mail, letters in the actual mail requesting that I step down and let Brother John take the mantle. And I don't blame him.
I'll stop sending them.
And then on top of that, aggressively relaxing was a huge part of the channel this year. Whenever we're talking Star Wars, I have to have somebody come in and counterbalance my frustration for a lot of this stuff, and he has been crucial in that. He rode with us through all of Ahsoka and what was that thing called? The Acolyte. And, and then we have TJ who's hopped on with us a bunch of times this year. So big thank you to all the people that do that. And of course, the rotating panel of movie crew, when we do those shows, a lot of people jump on and pretty much like the Illuminati invades for the movie review stuff. So big shout out to DJ Nick and Du Bois. But I appreciate you guys. Good stuff. Good stuff. So let me say hey to some people in the chat. Las Crucias, 1971. Man, I was hoping he would catch that community supporter award, but Christina Payne most definitely puts in the work and earned it fair and square. What is going on? The adventurous one is here. Joseph Michaels, good evening to you. Hope you're doing good. Pop, hello. I just put a post on IG. For whatever reason, Kyle was walking by at Finn's birthday party today and just turned up and took a picture, and we were like just both sat like holding food before. This was before the party started. We kind of just went ahead and started eating. What's going on, Paul, over at ABX? Congrats on the best collab award. No one deserves it more. Don't let an award define you, though. You're dope AF with or without it. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Absolutely. What is going on, Brian? Hello.
The
hello.
man himself, master of ceremonies.
Surprised he's awake. Man's been busy. That's a lot to organize, like that many moving parts. DVH, what is going on? Talent Finn's proud to mention. Dude,
he won as well.
Yeah, I saw his post and people sharing. I didn't get to see. I caught probably a 15 or 20-minute segment of the award. I had a friend in from overseas, came to America from Belgium and hung out this weekend. We've known each other for years and came to the States for the first time. And we had just went and seen Venom 3. And as we're walking out, I opened the awards as we're walking to the car, and that was the moment that I won an award. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So they were able to see it too. That was really cool.
So does that mean you didn't see DVH dance?
No, I did not.
That's probably for the best.
I've seen DVH dance with Badger and stuff. It was one of the funniest things on YouTube. It was awesome.
He picked up some lady at a bus stop and just started dancing with her. It was kind of cool.
That sounds right. That sounds very DVH's.
Mm-hmm.
Here's for Hire. What is going on? Just watch Dread today, dude. Flawless film. Literally a flawless film. It's amazing. And because DC has had the licensing for Dread in the past that fits any stream I do. You know, it's got the Eagle Comics, 2000 AD, DC. Dread fits everything. What is going on, Trev? Hope you're doing good today. JSS Brooklyn, what is up, homie? Good to see you. Legion of Comics is the Meryl Streep of the CBC Awards. Yeah. Well, Digger Jim, what is going on, homie? Tate, what's up, bro? How are you? Rad, what's up? What's up? There's Bart right there. Love you, bro. Yeah, it was so awesome hanging out this weekend. It was a good time. Good time. There's AR. Big thank you to you, homie. He also won Tuesday's giveaway during the new DC Day stream. If you're into DC Comics, if all of this all this absolute stuff has really got your antenna sticking up between the Tuesday live stream I do with the weekly giveaway and the DC deep dive we do on Paul's channel, we got you covered. Make sure you check it out. You won't want to miss it. There's a lot going on with it. Me and Paul just recorded. We're still playing catch up for me being hurricane ridden, but we recorded the Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman deep dive, and it'll be out tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if you haven't already subscribed to Sector, you want more just us rambling about these comic books that we love so much and really think you should be reading too, but you don't want to buy it yet, you don't want to spend the money, or you did buy it and you read it and you want to get some extra perspective on it, Sector's pinned in all the description of these if you don't want to have to type it in and search it. But be sure to give them a subscribe. You don't want to miss out on that goodness. These books are amazing. They need to be bought. 16-month member milestone.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much. We are Legion forever. Heck yeah. What up, what up? Stop shouting, DJ. I'm trying to. 18-month member milestone. LFG. Congratulations to both Mark and Paul. Thank you so much, homie.
Thank you.
Well, boy, what's up? What's up? I love invading. That sounds fun.
That sounds quite medievalish.
It does. I was thinking, I've known a guy who likes to pillage.
Yeah.
But I haven't known too many people that are big fans of invading. First time I was ever accused of being a collaborator, and I didn't yell. You can't. Yeah, we don't like to use words like collaborator because then the judge starts throwing around a bunch of words like premeditated.
Right.
Oh, you heard it here first. He hates Remy and Tyler. They don't pop onto the movie ones. It's just Nick and DJ. Tyler's job never permits it, and I don't think Remy's popped on. They always have open invites, so best believe. What is going on? Circumstances. Good to see you in here, homie. Hope you're doing good as well. Oh, that's on something else. Stephen with a C. There he is. All right, now we can get it rocking and rolling. Congrats to all the winners. Yeah, congrats to all the people that are nominated too. It was awesome seeing FOC and Chill in there this year. I know you set out to do a little bit of effort into that and put your name in the hat, and it was awesome seeing it make it.
It was a great video. That's the DVH video. Yeah, it was great.
Normally, DVH is awesome, but Badger steals it when you get like her honest reaction when finally she's just like, "Dad's too much."
It's exactly how it ended. It was like
That's how it was again.
She was like pulling pieces of paper that had like things going on, and at the end she just dropped her head and was just laughing.
Was it the same video from last year? That's what they did last year with the holding the paper up and peeling one at a time, and he dances and stuff.
If it was there last year, I didn't see it last year. If it was the same one, but I don't think it was the same one. But could have been. And I just missed it last year.
I don't know. I missed it this year, so I'll go back and check it out for sure. Hopefully, Dr. Von Hoot just posts it somewhere easy to find instead of wading through the whole thing trying to find it. Digger Jim throwing those custom channel emojis. You get that from hitting that join button down below. Unlock a bunch of those things. The Superman one, DC Comics. You know what's great, Paul, is I've had the membership for a couple of years now, right? And it says DC on there, but when you look at it on YouTube, you actually see the emojis, and it's been the DC bullet from day one. From day one, since before they brought the bullet back. That lets you know that DC, they know what they're doing right now. They're on the right track. When fans weren't letting it go, why'd they let it go?
They were listening to you.
Sucks the winners are getting overshadowed. Okay. If they are, that does suck, I guess. Dread is a masterpiece. Dr. Von Hoot's comic from the Spiral Dimension has some dancing skills. He absolutely does. 100%. 100%. What is going on, Dave? Still only 35 cents. I think I saw the Instagram post where he won Best New Channel. He's definitely come in like a hurricane, and he's a fantastic person, fantastic content.
I think they call them cyclones in the Southern Hemisphere.
Typhoons, maybe?
Typhoons in the Eastern Pacific.
Okay. Yo, did you see what happened to Spain? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I was looking at the satellite.
A year's worth of rain in one day.
Yeah, I was looking at the satellite photo of before it and after, the just sheer amount of water. It looks like there's lakes like miles wide from space. Like, my God.
And like all the cars are on one side of the town now.
They're over there.
Exactly.
The parked right here. Where it's over there with everyone else's. Dude, I haven't seen what kind of loss of life or I can't even imagine. Like, I'm still waiting to see like numbers.
More than 200 people have died.
Yeah, confirmed already. You know, it's always going to go up, and then there's going to be the missing that by the time they call it, like people aren't doing like, oh, here's the numbers anymore. For some reason they stop like it's like after a certain amount of time it stops being as important. Like North Carolina, like this many are missing, this many confirmed, and you're just not hearing that like daily report. Like, yo, we found more people. Like last you heard, there's still like hundreds of people not accounted for. It's insane. Thanks for the notification reminder, DJ. What is going on, Dagger Cards? Hello. Let's see. Boom. Oh, check this out. Check this out right here. Boom. Got a $19.99 super chat from JSS Brooklyn. Dude, thank you so much. Ridiculously kind of you. Congrats to the Legion and all the winners and nominees. But way to go, Legion, for all the hard work. I appreciate it. It's fun. It's fun, and having people in here to hang out and talk about these funny books and enjoy this hobby, it makes it easy. New video shot it Thursday. Oh, awesome. So so you put Badger through it twice. That's amazing. Badger's the best. The absolute best. It does feel like DC is moving with confidence right now. I'm hyped for all their new stuff. Absolutely. And I've mentioned it in chats and stuff, but DC Comics reached out to me to do a collaborative project to help roll out something they have coming up in the very near future to help be part of the marketing for it. And I agreed. So I've got my foot in the door with DC, at least from what I do here and what I bring to the table, which, you know, they like the social media aspect of stuff. And so they sometimes you reach out to other people who already got a footing and stuff, and they apparently went through my content and thought it would be a good idea if they asked me to help them with a rollout of something that's upcoming. So I'm very excited about it. I'm not grinning on the outside, but I'm trying to hold it in. I'm very, very little nervous too. But yeah, very, very going to be very cool. Hopefully, it puts a foot in the door for other stuff in the future too. You never know. You never know. Awesome. I'm going to definitely check that out. Absolute Batman may be at its best in decades. I'll be reading a lot more DC. Yeah, dude. Don't skimp out on Wonder Woman either, man. Yeah. It was fantastic. And me and Paul give like the full details on it in the DC deep dive tomorrow, which typically we would have done it like the week it came out, but playing catch up. All right, that made it to the bottom of that list, I do believe. So it's been a big week going down the list. We had the Marvel announcements, the new Penguin episode. Is Agatha's
done.
Did it finish last week?
It finished this past week.
Since there was an episode since last Sunday?
2 episodes. They dropped 2 episodes on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever night it was, to finish it.
We're done.
We're done.
We're dumping it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Agatha talk about Superman and Lois. We got new books and then some stuff. So where do you want to start, Paul? I'm going to leave it up to you. Where are we starting with all that?
Well, let's go to the thumbnail. Let's talk about Penguin.
All right, we'll start with Penguin. The interesting episode. It was crazy. Yeah, it just keeps escalating. So
yeah.
So we pretty much have. So I had to get Sophia for the thumbnail because she's full on mob boss now, and she's teamed up with Boss Maroney. And at this point, Oz has killed his entire family, thinking he was going to die, and he's not dead. So they're coming after Oz. They're trying to figure out what makes this man tick, where he's at, and how to actually hurt him. Because from where they're sitting, he looks like a man who has nothing to lose, and it's that old proverb: a man who has nothing to lose is like one of the most dangerous people out there, kind of thing. And meanwhile, in Penguin's neck of the woods, it's kind of seemed like a small jump forward, because in the last episode, we saw him take Vic down into the old subways and talk on the humidity, and we can get the mushroom operation going back up here. But when it starts, they've got it up and running. They got the generators going, the lights going. It looks like it's all set up. They've expanded their crop and everything, and they're pumping out product and getting it to the street. So you're really seeing like he's in a good place, getting a footing. And that's most of the episode. And then you follow Sophia as she's like trying to find him, and she goes to his old girlfriend. And it was such an intense scene. Like you're just waiting for this girl to die. And it was like you could hear a pin drop. Like I don't care where you're watching this at. Like it was super tense. And fortunately, Sophia, like I don't know how like planned out that was. She decided to let her live, and the act of letting her live was just enough for Oz's old girlfriend to drop the dime on her. Yeah, like that little act of like compassion, because this woman sees Sophia as the hangman. She doesn't know any different. This woman was never told by Oz that what he did to get her locked up, so it's just that little bit of distrust that wasn't supposed to be there. And then seeing the honesty in Sophia was just enough for her to roll on him. And meanwhile, Vic's taking care of Oz's mom. Vic is also getting pressed by some of the neighborhood drug dealers. They want in on whatever Vic's up to. They see him doing good. And Vic tries to go to Oz with it. And Oz is like, man, handle your stuff. And Vic sees he has a lot going on. So he just leaves it. And Vic goes to try to handle it with this guy himself, ends up shooting and killing the guy in a moment that was just also really tense. It's again, we're seeing how the shift from being a good kid to being an irredeemable criminal, it's not a switch. It's a slow progression, a slow descent, and that's what we're really getting to see with Vic. By the end of the show, he's in the room with Oz's mom, just taking care of her, and Sophia walks in the background. And that's where they leave us hanging.
With a crowbar,
about to go all Jason Todd.
Right after the power came on, because Oz pressured the city councilmen to turn the power back on.
Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff happening in this. Where you stand on this episode? What do you think?
It was good. I I think last episode was probably my favorite episode so far. Not this past Sunday, the one before.
Yeah,
Um,
the
was
campfire episode in the
yeah,
parking garage.
yeah, exactly. Was probably my favorite so far. But you also, besides all that, Oz has what's called the Gold Summit, where he basically gathers everybody, all of the bosses except for Maroni and Sophia, and basically says, "Hey, you know what? Um, we're out here basically living like hand to mouth, and they're living the good life." And he basically, at the end, they all agree to partner with him. So it's looking like it's going to be Oz and all the bosses against Sophia and Maroni.
Yeah, which was an interesting tell of like the dynamic of the power in Gotham, because there was a lot of other little gang factions. Like there was that Asian gang that he had went to with Sophia
The
earlier.
Triads.
But yeah, the Triads. But it was like the leader of the Triads, and then it just looked like almost like slightly elevated street crews. But there was a lot of them, and even them together, they're still questioning if we are enough to take on them. And you know, Sophia's already taken out her entire family. It's just her and the goons left. And Maroni's family has been seemingly wiped out, save for him, because like of Sophia and Oz. So
Right.
they're still worried about him like that. It's almost like their names carry more weight than they do, possibly, or maybe they're still that influential in the streets. I don't know.
Yeah. Like the their what am I trying to say? The concept of who they are is bigger than who they actually are.
Yeah, which is fitting for that for a Batman universe, you know, like
Their reputations are bigger
yeah.
than
And that's very fitting for like a Batman universe kind of theme too, because like, why do
right.
you wear the symbol? You know, I
Right.
have to be something bigger than what I am. And I also do want to make a quick callback to when Alien Romulus came out. Do you remember the thumbnail? How it was like the alien head up here?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, that looks kind of suspect.
Yeah.
This thumbnail is so much better. I just want to throw that out there.
He's writing previous wrongs.
Righting previous wrongs. Which Dread movie y'all talking about? And I forgot to ask Agatha All Along any good? The newest Dread movie, not the Stallone, the newest one, Agatha All Along. And I've only watched 3 episodes, hit with the hurricane and never went back to it. It seems like the consensus is like it starts however it starts, but it has improved along the way to getting from the people watching it are giving it really, really strong praise. The people that enjoyed the beginning of it enjoy the latter half even more. So we'll see. I'm going to go back and watch it, and I'm hoping for an opportunity to be able to make a video that I was wrong about Agatha and get into it, because I think that there's a lot to talk about if that show is in fact good. If it is in fact good, there's a lot that can be said about the state of the MCU moving forward, and I definitely want to unpack that. Congratulations, Mark and Paul, at Week Senate award-winning show. Thank you so much, Sir Timothy Nerdy. Good to see you in here, homie. Yeah, Penguin was super strong. New episode tonight. How many episodes do we have left?
Maybe 2, maybe?
Maybe 10. Maybe. We're just not sure, is what we're saying.
Exactly.
We don't know.
I'm gonna keep going back every Monday until I find there's not one out there.
Aw. Agatha had an actual showrunner, so the show overall connected so well. That could be the case. All of these shows have had showrunners. It's unfortunate who they choose sometimes might be the difference. It's kind of like, and this is a good segue, the Daredevil Born Again show had a showrunner.
Mm-hmm.
And then Disney started losing money by the buckets compared to what they were making. So they fired the showrunner. They went and got another showrunner. And me and Paul talked about this at the time. The new showrunner came in. And do you remember what the first thing he did was, Paul?
He trashed every single script, I believe, right?
Trashed every single script and then posted on social media a stack of Daredevil trade paperbacks and says that he's going to go through these before he writes the script.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, thank you, an actual showrunner. You know, the Marvel method with the MCU has always been directions. Don't read the comics. This is the character. This is their powers. Make your show. Make your movie. Don't read the comics. And it's backfired. The Daredevil showrunner knows he has big shoes to fill. It's across the board. The best like Disney Marvel show that has ever been made is Daredevil. It just is. I don't think that's even an opinion, is it? It just is.
Yeah,
I think so.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
I mean, it's just quality through the roof. Amazing. Just awesome. Charlie Cox is phenomenal as Matt Murdock. So bringing Daredevil back is like a Hail Mary. Like, the fans want it, so why not? The character is popular, beloved by viewers of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but bringing that show from that Netflix gritty over to Marvel, that's tough. And if you don't you got to shot for shot it. You just have to continue that show and the style, the tone, and everything. And we got our first look. Disney did a dump of trailers and teasers of the upcoming projects that they have, and Daredevil Born Again was in there. And we got a couple of important things. We have seen already the suit. It looks a little more brighter. We've got Punisher returning, and he'll be in the show. Everyone's excited about that, but we got our shot of Kingpin. And that doesn't look like Vanessa to me. I don't know if it's supposed to be, if it is or what, but we got Kingpin coming back. Will be returning since he was last seen on the questionable at best Echo show. Not sure if everybody watched that. Well, I know everybody damn sure didn't watch it, but not sure if y'all watched it, but I did. It was awful. Awful. Let's see what AR's got to say about this. Agatha's writing is so strong it was almost annoying. It used the giving info that recontextualizes the scene you've seen with 4 different characters. Interesting. I would say close second to Daredevil's Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I think Jessica Jones season 1 was strong, but I give it to Punisher. I think Punisher was their second best. Like if you look at like all the seasons together, Luke Cage was pretty solid. I like that. I like when he came out of the laboratory with the actual comic accurate suit on. Like the tiara was just part of the laboratory stuff. That was super cool. Yeah, that first season of Jessica Jones had me hooked. With David Tennant, he's just fantastic. But are you looking forward to this Daredevil show?
I definitely am. Absolutely.
What'd you think of the tease of the villain? This guy right here, Muse.
Yeah, I don't really know a lot about him. That's my problem with a lot of the Marvel shows is I don't really know a lot about the characters necessarily, because I've always been a DC guy. But it definitely looks comic accurate, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say they nailed it, didn't they? You got the straps on and everything. So for those unaware, Muse first appeared in Daredevil issue number 11. This is not that issue, but he's on the cover of this one, so I grabbed this one. Issue 11 of volume 5. He's got he's stronger, he's a little bit faster, and he has this ability to like hypersense things where Daredevil uses sonar. I think he just uses just regular old senses. So he's almost like an anti-Daredevil in a way. So it's going to be interesting. I didn't have a clue that guy was coming in. Had no clue who he was before it. I had to go look him up. Unfortunately, not Jason Mewes. I would say Jason Mewes over Muse, but we'll see how it works out. We'll see. But I'm interested in seeing it. I know that I've had some stuff like, I look at leak stuff often. And some stuff, months ago came out on the filming set. So I believe there will be appearances of other villains that might be familiar, that might not last or be meant to be the main bad guys. So I'm excited to see that as well. I want to thank myself for helping Legion win his award. Thank you so much, Dagger Cards. Be sure to pat yourself on the back. Anybody that voted for the channel, I appreciate y'all so much. It definitely is really cool seeing all the support. But yeah, Daredevil was one of the big hitters on there. I'm trying to remember what other shows that they did teaser trailers for.
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Very forgettable.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. That's why we have slides.
Mm-hmm.
Hailing from Wakanda forgettable, coming into just Disney Plus forgettable, we have Ironheart. And I believe that this show is supposed to take place before Wakanda. Originally, it was set to air before it. I don't know if that's still the case or if they changed things. I'm not going to lie. That suit looks pretty cool. Those vents on the shoulder, I have no clue what that is or what that's about. But design-wise, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Didn't they show Marvel Zombies too?
I don't care about that. I don't know.
And there's a Wakanda one too. There's what if zombies or something, right? But then there's a Wakanda series too.
That's wild. I did not see that. Admittingly, I was not paying much attention at all.
Nor was I, obviously. So totally unprepared for the segment.
That's why I brought slides. Back to it. Slides. So we got that shot of what looks like potentially would be like a later in the show suit. These are all just quick flashes coming from a teaser trailer, but We also see this suit. I can't tell if it looks like it could potentially be an earlier model one. It looks a little rough around the edges based on the lighting on the chest, the smaller flares. Could be battled. I don't know. You know how Iron Man suits go. There's so many of them that are so different. But what was most exciting was Parker. Anthony Ramos, fantastic actor playing the Hood. He was the guy that was just recently Ghost Rider. He's a villain criminal who gets a hold of this magical hood that starts taking over the underworld. He had a great Marvel Max miniseries back in the early 2000s. I didn't follow him much after that, but I do read Ghost Rider, and he was in that 12-issue arc, Final Vengeance. Actually had the Spirit of Vengeance, but love this actor. He's awesome. So it'll be interesting to see what part he has to play and how he even fits into an Ironheart show. It seems to me like you're just shoving a character that has no business being in there, but we'll see how they write him in. Are you all the way frozen or just visually frozen?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, there you are.
I'm
Just visually.
No, I look fine on my side.
Yeah, I'm frozen on the YouTube, but don't worry, we can hear you.
Okay. Usually the chat would have told me by now if I was frozen.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
you'll pop back in. There you are. Welcome back. Eyes of Wakanda, TM Nerdy says.
Okay, there you go.
Can't be any worse than Wakanda Forgettable. Yeah, I don't think it can be. With having Anthony Ramos in there in the Hood, I think that's going to be that's got me wanting to watch it, to be honest with you, because I do like that character from that mini series that I read, and I liked him in Ghost Rider, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him in there. I'm not saying it's going to be good. I'm not saying it's going to be anything. I feel like Marvel did a dump of all their old stuff. Like, this is the stuff that was supposed to have already been out years ago, but they got cold feet and they started taking L after L. They're like, like people love Iron Man. You know what we should do? We should do Iron Heart because people love Iron Man. It's not how it works. People love Iron Man. If you made a War Machine movie, it would do okay, but it ain't doing Iron Man numbers. It's Iron Man that you've got everyone to fall in love with. These are different people. An armor suit is not an armor suit. Is not an armor suit. But anyways, so I don't know. I don't know how these are going to do. A lot of reworks, a lot of rewrites, a lot of shifting in the timeline. Captain America Brave New World, which I'm still personally really excited for, just had test screenings this past week, and everyone who test screened said it's a dumpster fire, which is bad because that's how the test screening started, and then they did complete rewrites, and it's over like a $350 million budget now, and they still aren't getting positive test screenings. So I don't know. It seems all really risky right now. It's going to be wild if Agatha is the best thing Disney puts out in like the next 3 years.
But maybe what they're going to do with Ironheart is kind of what they kind of did with Wakanda. I mean, with Agatha, in that it doesn't necessarily need to lead to anything else. Yeah, at the very end, they say, "Let's go find Tommy." But there's no after credit scene. The first show, it didn't have an after credit scene at all. So maybe they're kind of thinking they can do some of these things as kind of standalone things anywhere now, and they don't need to necessarily be part of this huge, thing that they're doing. So
Paul's mouth is not frozen. AR says setting up Marvel Zombies is important for a great moment in the Secret Wars. Yeah, I'm sure they'll pop up with the live action zombies in there for sure. What is going on, Frog Brawler? Hello. I liked Wakanda Forgettable, damn it. A couple people did. Yeah, a couple people did. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like what you like. Eyes of Wakanda will be animated, and Mark Bernardin is attached, so I'm excited. I don't know who that is, and I'm just not too big on animated stuff. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. What If didn't keep me. My Adventures with Superman, and I'm a DC stooge, and that didn't keep me. Anthony Mackie saved me on a Disney cruise on dinner, so I owe him definitely buying the ticket. Oh, I'm definitely going, dude. I'm excited to see. I like Anthony Mackie as an actor. He's just delightful. We've said this 1,000 times, and him as Falcon is just perfect. And watching him fly around in that suit, there's just something about a man flying with whether it be watching Superman fly or a wingsuit, there's just something that just gets my kid brain just going and the dopamine flowing, and just those quick shots they showed us at the end with him spinning and dodging the rockets. And even when he breaks the sound barrier, he hits the afterburners, I'm like, yo, that's freaking cool. Just cool to see. Even if the movie's not great, there should be good enough action scenes, and watching that And then the toys came out. I don't know if anybody cares. This is definitely spoiler territory, but you're on a spoiler show. But the toys came out and showed Harrison Ford's Red Hulk, Anthony Mackie's Captain America, and the new Falcon, who's going to be reprising his role from the Falcon Winter Soldier TV show, who they've completely changed for the MCU. He's wildly different in the actual comic. You don't even want to get into that. You can't even talk about that comic without causing a political fight. That's how overboard they went with that book. But he was one of the guys in the military when Falcon was working with the military and Falcon and Winter Soldier in the beginning. He's going to be the new Falcon. Cash the check or cut the check. He said, cut the check. Yeah, that was the best special feature in the history of Disney. Me and Pops watched that numerous times, just sat there and just laughed, man. It was so funny. Every time Anthony Mackie would finish a scene, before the director could even yell cut, he would just yell, cut the check. Like he knew it was good. He knew he landed the line. We need more Marvel horror characters like Werewolf by Night. Lots of untapped potential there. Yeah, me and the kids went back and watched this year for Halloween, but we watched the version that's in full color. Not as good. Don't recommend.
Okay.
The black and white is way cooler. It's definitely made for black and white.
Well, it kind of evokes the whole universal horror type feeling in the black and white.
Yeah, and there's like like when Moonstone, like they go to his they're all meeting up because he's died and they're passing on the bloodstone and stuff, and they have his corpse like up and animated and stuff. It looked really cool in black and white. In color, you're like, that looks like weird. And I know that should look weird. I just said animated corpse at a funeral, but it looked way better in black and white. What is going on, K-pop? What's up? What's up? Sledge, how's it going? I like Mackie a lot, but I'm not sure he can carry a movie by himself. Yo, I don't think so too, but they've it's kind of an ensemble movie a little bit. You got Harrison Ford in there. I mean, he's done plenty of movies by himself, but like he's led plenty of movies, but nothing on this scale. Like this is like his first, like, we need you to make a summer blockbuster hit, my man. Like, let's see what you got. So they need the brand to be strong. If the brand was strong, it would be fine, but it's not where it was, especially not with a $328 million budget.
Yeah.
Last time I looked at it, you're setting it up for failure at that point. Ordered all three. Nice. Very cool. Mark is a journalist, but has written episodes of Star Trek Picard as well as the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra game. Do you know this? You know that thing? You don't keep up with all the writers of the episodes of the Star Trek shows?
I couldn't tell you every single writer of every single episode.
No. It's not like there's a lot of them.
Yeah, no. Only 7 seasons times 20 some episodes, only 150 some episodes.
Yeah. Golly. Try. It's like Dark Shadows. There were like 1,000 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It was 100% shot for black and white. You can tell because of the strong lighting. Yeah, definitely. You want to talk on Agatha before we shift gears out of the MCU stuff?
Yeah, it's basically the same as I've been saying every week. You know, it was better than I thought it would be for me because I'm really not a big Agatha fan. Before WandaVision, I didn't even know who she was. That's how little of I knew about her. There are definitely some. We get, total Wiccan. He does that. There we find out
like
more. He goes total Wiccan. We find out one of the 2 episodes deals with her son. That's been referenced multiple times throughout the, Billy is constantly asking Agatha, what happened to Nikki, and she refuses to answer. We find out kind of what happened. We find out what happened to Nikki in one of the 2 episodes. They for as much as they've been talking about the relationship between Agatha and Rio, who's deaf. I feel like there's still a lot that we don't know about it. I feel like there was a lot that they still could have done with it. That they kind of left us hanging as to what actually goes on with those 2. But it ends with Agatha dies. she turns all her hair kind of turns white, which is what people would recognize her from the people would recognize her from the comics. Her hair turns white. Um, she then kind of at the end kind of teams up with Billy, and they walk off into the sunset saying, "Let's go find Tommy," and that's kind of where it ends.
Oh wow. I was going to ask if it was open ended or not, but I guess most definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think
And-
of like the reveal of death in the show? Aubrey Plaza's character.
It was okay. I mean, it was spoiled, on the back of that Funko Pop, but it was Aubrey.
Was she like an important player in the show? Was her presence there? Like
She definitely was when it came to Nikki. The son. Their big episode goes back in time to. We also don't know if Nikki has a father or if he was immaculately conceived. So we don't know any of that.
It was the Night Witches from the Acolyte.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Witches are big on just making babies.
They are. A lot of unanswered questions. Maybe we'll see Agatha and Billy in the Vision series. Maybe that'll be part of it. But that's still a couple of years down the road. But like I said, there was nothing that would that you would know after seeing that would lead you to believe, oh, this is where you can follow the story next, type of a thing.
Sledge said, this shows the first time I realized Wiccan had fans, kind of like every other Marvel super fandom from C-list characters. You see that happen with like every movie release ever. Like it's typically a villain thing, right? Like when they announce a villain for an upcoming movie, like the Kang thing, like, oh, my favorite villain's finally going to be in him. Like, dude, like we've never seen you talk about Kang before in our lives. But I'll be honest with you, I thought Wiccan was cool. I was reading Young Avengers as it was coming out. Thought he was pretty cool, but it isn't like Young Avengers kind of came and went for me. I liked Iron Lad the most out of him. I thought that was a great tie-in they did with Kang, that he was just a young Kang trying to correct his wrongs before he makes them, kind of thing. That's been done a handful of times now, I guess.
Yeah, and AR says Agatha said that she made Nikki the old-fashioned way. We don't know who, but then we also don't know when you're talking about an old-fashioned way for witches. What does that mean?
No, it means you have to have like 2 strands of hair. You have to have a crow's foot, the beak of a chicken, but the chicken had to have already been dead when you got the beak. You use like one scoop of cinnamon, and you have to ground it for 3 days. Is the old-fashioned way.
Oh, okay, good.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy Aubrey Plaza will be sticking around as the character. Really want Agatha to show up in Fantastic Four. Did Aubrey say anything about?
Yeah. I didn't know Aubrey Plaza was sticking around with that character. I didn't know that, but there have been rumors that Agatha may show up again in Fantastic Four. So
that's the proper place for that character to be. I'm excited for Amazon God of War series. Amazon does a good job lately with Reacher, Fallout, The Boys, Zorro, and then Bart was telling me about Zorro. I completely missed that. Did you know that there was like a Spanish-made Zorro on Netflix or Amazon? I mean,
I did not know that.
I did not either.
Did you see that Amazon announced that they were going to do another? What's the one with John Krasinski?
Oh, Jack Reacher movie.
Jack Reacher movie, yes.
Yeah, Kyle messaged me from work. I'm like, "You're working? Why? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's a Jack Reacher show." She goes, "No, it's a movie, not Jack Reacher, Jack Ryan."
Right, Jack Ryan. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. Aubrey Plaza fire. Plaza's perfect as death, and I also love how all in she went with her character. Yeah, I saw the professional photo shots, not like from in the show, but like the practical makeup effects that looked really good. Big fan of practical effects. I like that they did that. Yeah, Jack Ryan on me. Yep. So the first episode of Australian Office on Amazon. Trash.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Office is so good it can't be like, there's some stuff like you can think you're going to remake it or do something, like it can't be touched.
Yeah. Nobody can make somebody cringe like Ricky Gervais can.
Dude, that show holds a special place in my heart. I was binge watching it. Last time I watched it was like when Kyle was pregnant with Monkey. That's why she has the name Monkey, because you know how Dwight calls Angela Monkey,
Mhm.
and it wasn't intentional. But I was binge watching it, so I wasn't watching anything else. And there's a lot of episodes and stuff, so I was still watching the final season and stuff. Like while Kyle went in labor, had Monkey, and I like finished it like within the first week of Monkey's life. But I'd heard Monkey as like a pet name for so long, like that's what stuck with Monkey. And now that's what literally everyone calls her. Shout out to The Office. It's no Neighbors. Is there a season 2 for Gen V? I think they had said that there is going to be one.
There is going to be one. Yep.
Not one Neighbors actor. Trash. I have a great idea. Let's do Infinity Gauntlet, then introduce the catalyst for it after Thanos is dead, kind of like World War Hulk. Yeah, that was a little backwards, wasn't it? They had to switch Thanos' motives all up. But if you remember in the first Avengers, the first after credit scene we ever got, the first shot of Thanos that we got and all that, you had the Shatari guy talking to Thanos saying like, we underestimated them, like we shouldn't go there. To go there would be to court death. And Thanos just turns around and smiles big. He's like, then we're definitely going, implying that we're going to do this for death, to court death. And they never went that route. It went a slightly
If it's going to be there, I'm all in.
Yeah. Oh, the dog's knocking on the back door to go out. Let's switch gears to Superman and Lois episode. What was it, 5?
I believe it was. We have Lex's. We finally find out where Lex's daughter is. She is somewhere in France. Lois manages to track her down in France, trying to convince her to come back because she's convinced that the only way that Lex will stop coming after her family is if she reunites with her father, is if Lois's daughter and Lois and Lex reunite. And so there's a whole bunch of scenes between Lex and his daughter. First, she says she's not going to go. She's talking to him. She basically tells him you're a rotten person. She walks out of the restaurant. Clark stops her and says, "Hey, you know what? I know. Hey, John. I know. This is not easy for you. I know. What's going on. Just know that if you don't at least try hard, that this is my family now that we're talking about as well." Convinces her to go back. So she goes back. They have some nice coffee or whatever, and but it still doesn't go very well.
Yeah, we also get some flashbacks of Lex and his wife and the split up and everything, and saw that the daughter chose to stay with Lex initially. We get Lois and Superman kind of trying to figure out a way to deal with this situation of Lex just ultimately like gunning for them, and they know that they're not strong enough to fight Doomsday. Superman's still dealing with the power, like if he can hold up to it and everything, and he actually just approaches Lex and attempts just to talk to Lex, like in the side of the road, like just lands in front of him. And Lex tells him like, yo, I'm not stopping. He tells his daughter that Lois has to pay for the 17 years she took away from him. They kind of get the turn with the kids where they're kind of like back to leaning in and trusting Lois more because Lex did get in their head. But the big thing is Lois taking matters into her own hands. She like she doesn't want to lose her family. She knows that there's no stopping Doomsday. So she actually gets the signal, the high frequency signal, and goes out into the sticks and hits it. And she's waiting for Doomsday to land, and John lands. And he's like, what are you doing? And eventually Doomsday lands right in front of him. Great shots of him. Looks wildly disgusting and scary. And she's able to talk to him because she realized who it was. She realized that this is the Bizarro from the Earth Cubed. That was so cool. That was such a good season. But she's able to talk to him, to get through to him, because he's not just mindlessly raging. He is more controlled than what you would see in the traditional comic books. And she was able to get in his head just enough. He was able to have the memories of Lois back on his world, and he took off into the sky. And Lex finds out that he's gone, and that's where it kind of leaves us, that Doomsday's not in his containment, and who knows what's coming next. J-Man said, just finished season 2 of Lois and Man. I'll start season 3. I got the Blu-rays, so I'll try and power through it. By the time I finish it, season 4 should be on Blu-ray, then I'll watch it. I can't imagine like knowing these spoilers ahead of time. Not from me from watching us, but like it's out there. Like the whole Doomsday turn was nobody saw it coming unless you were like looking at leaks or stuff like that. If you were just watching the show, that was wild because how it all started. It all started in a containment suit, and you're like, oh, Doomsday. Oh no, it's Bizarro. How cool is that? And then it comes back around. But there was some cool stuff I wanted to talk about with this show because, like I said, I like to look at stuff. But there's a good close shot of Doomsday. It was cool how you can almost see this energy radiating out of what could potentially look like gills even on the side of his neck. And when Lois was getting through to him, they were kind of calming down. But you want to see something cool, Paul?
Sure. Show me something cool, Mark.
Yeah, we've been talking about how this show has like this amazing ability just to build with these great finales and stuff. And what are we going to do for the series finale? We've got Doomsday here. They've talked about Brainiac. We got Lex here. We got Steel here he wears a Lex suit. He was wearing a power suit is what he wears. The hammer's his, but the suit originally was Lex's. But we also have two Super Sons.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see something cool? I found some.
I know what they're gonna show.
You've seen them?
I think yeah.
Yo, if we get this, how crazy would that be? So there's some really cool concepts up of you got John Kent in the more traditional Connell Superboy suit, and then on the bottom you got Jordan in the black and red. Like, dude. When I saw Jordan in that suit, I'm like, yo, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We've already seen a rendition of the Connor suit when we went to Bizarro World, and it was pretty cool.
Long as they don't do the belt around the thigh, because that's like 1980s.
That's too far. Yeah, which is bad to say because the character didn't come out to the 1990s. Like, yo, get with the times.
Yeah,
get with the times. Oh, that's good. That's good. Looking forward to Superboys, dude. So much so, so much so.
Telling you, he's gonna retire. They're gonna take over.
Technically, we knew season 1, which led us astray with saying he was Bizarro. Yeah. Season 1, we had Morgan Edge end up being his brother. Dude, that was awesome. Like, and then when they brought him back in, like, because they needed his help, and he had his own fortress of solitude in the desert and stuff, and it's terrible, terrible uncle, man. That guy was a POS. But yeah, those Superboy suits are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I do have a question for you, which is semi related to this stuff. I know you get some McFarlane toys every now and then. Did you get the Christopher Reeve one? You did, right? Yeah. I missed it, but luckily my main man with pots and pans, fellow toy collector adventurous Joseph, the adventurous one, Joseph Michaels, has got a spare that I'll be catching. But did you see what McFarlane announced with the comic version? It's a little odd, odd. Can't say it's not odd. Same figure painted up differently, and I think it's called cell shading or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like they've been doing that. They did that on Batman, another Superman. They did like the white shading on it, on some figures that just came out recently.
Yeah, the Justice League Task Force ones, right? What's crazy, you had Superman, Batman, Flash, and Aquaman, and it's a Build-A-Figure set for a phenomenal Darkseid, but it's based on a Super Nintendo game, and I don't think they look bad. I even saw the Aquaman before I could see that they were like video game styles. I'm like, I kind of want that Aquaman. There's just something about Aquaman toys. I think they're amazing. They're really cool, but the Darkseid though is insane. Like, I'm like, yo, that's like the best looking Darkseid they've put out, and it's like a video game version. Very odd, but this has like some kind of uncanny valley effect on me. It's just a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pass. Not a fan. I hate the shit. Yes. So it's not just us. Okay. I was trying to get a read on that. Doubt we'll get those suits. We don't even have a good Superman suit. He hates the show. I commend you for going through it. You're the first person I've ever seen that has not enjoyed the show. I hate that for you, bud. Ordered those as well. Can't wait to build me a Darkseid. Dude, I'm the same way. Like, if it wasn't like if we weren't where we were, like with the hurricane and everything, I would have just impulse bought that whole wave. I would have absolutely impulse bought that whole wave. I did get my wave of Superman and Batman figures in. Whole wave of those. Very excited. They're over here. Going to work on opening those Superman, Doomsday, Nightmare Batman, Armor Suit Batman, and Wonder Woman. I'm going to eventually get back to getting the toys on the shorts. Just it's a lot more work than you think. Unboxing toys, have to put boxes up and all that. Did anyone get that Darkseid figure? I saw videos where his arms were falling off. Which Darkseid? I guess it was like the traditional Kirby one that even came with the cape that they did. I didn't get that one. The only Darkseids I have from McFarlane is the Snyder Cut one and the gold label Snyder Cut one, and they're both phenomenal. I've never had any issues with any of the McFarlane figures, and I've got a bunch of them. So yeah, I did not. I did not.
AR. I guess the only thing I can say about AR is I'm sure the belt looks good on you.
Yeah, I commented on that video you showed them on and said, nice, you got them already, but mine aren't coming till next month. Yeah, I order straight from McFarlane when I get stuff. I don't know if that makes a difference in when stuff ships out. I order from them a lot. Well, I guess that's relative. When they put out movie figures, I order a lot. Question for both of you. Do you think they will drop the Superman trailer during the Super Bowl? When's the Super Bowl?
Second Sunday in February. I think at the latest it will be the Super Bowl.
It'd have to be because you got to time out what 3 trailers?
Yeah.
Like the teaser. I would not be surprised if we got a teaser before the end of the year. Because I think if you're going to do a Super Bowl trailer, you probably want your full trailer for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the movie's set for July. I don't know. James Gunn posts, he constantly answers people's questions and interacts on social media. He did say that he was actively working on the trailer, like as they were like talking within the past week. Thank you, Paul. I thought the thigh belt was a big swing in fashion. I just wasn't expecting it to be brought up. God. Last but not least, I'm excited to say if you're a Batman collector of Batman things like Batmobiles, the fight continues. It's officially available for pre-order at McFarlane's website. From Batman and Robin, George Clooney's Batmobile with lights and sound effect. Now, catch to this one is doesn't come with Batman, which that's okay. That's okay. You know, the tumbler didn't come with Batman. It came with Lucius Fox. You had to buy a platinum edition Batman with a wired cape separately. The Batman Forever Batmobile didn't come with a Batman. It came with Alfred. And luckily, they just released the wave of Batman Forever figures, so you can get one there. There isn't a standalone George Clooney Batman figure with a wired cape. They did the Batman and Robin set with the Build-A-Figure Mr. Freeze. They did the Batman Special Edition set that has Pattinson, the Snyder Cut Batman with the armored suit from the end of the movie. That was our first release of Val Kilmer, George Clooney, and Batman 89 that did come with the Batmobile. But they all had wire capes, where before then they all have like the rubber capes. So there's not a way to get a wired George Clooney Batman unless you get that box set, which is sold out at all stores. So you'd have to go secondary market. So I'm wondering what's going to happen between now and that Batmobile releasing. So it's kind of a conundrum because I definitely want to put a Batman in there. Like just from looking at that picture makes me want to put a Batman in there right now.
Right.
But I'll be honest with you, like this is not my favorite Batmobile. Doesn't mean I doesn't love it. I don't think there's a single Batmobile in any of those movies that I did not enjoy looking at. They're all just fun. I pre-ordered that sucker. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I asked him if it would feature the iconic Superman theme, and he said no comment. This is why Superman works alone. I need a car. Chicks dig the car. I also pre-ordered that McFarlane Gray Hulk 345 statue. I love that comic as a kid. I also love the Gray Hulk. Yeah, that's from the Ground Zero storyline. One of the coolest ones. There was a fight again when him and Wolverine met up and fought again briefly before they teamed up. I spent that whole movie thinking that line would pay off with the Soups cameo. I'll cancel the pizza. Don't wait up, Al. Joe fixed it. Not quite. He was just like a rampaging Gray Hulk. Wasn't doing the mob boss thing quite yet at that point. He was well on his way. Good stuff. That was all the stuff that caught my attention. You got anything else you want to? Anything notable?
Yes, it was confirmed that the writer and director of Godzilla -1 is doing a sequel.
Yeah, that was big news. A lot of people were wanting that. I was talking to Bart about that earlier today before he headed back. That's rough. I'm conflicted on that one. Godzilla -1 was the best movie of 2023, hands down. Like not the best sci-fi movie, giant monster movie, whatever. It was just the best movie. It was a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. That film is going to be in like top 100 list from now until the end of forever. It's amazing. What made it so good was for the first time in the history of Godzilla, they perfectly balanced the monster and the people story. You actually cared about the story that the people were in. So it was Godzilla versus humanity, but in a sense that you actually cared for humanity. With a sequel to this, what is the director going to do? Is he going to be forced to bring in something for Godzilla to fight? Is it going to be just Godzilla returning and humanity having to deal with Godzilla again? And at that point, how are you going to come up with such a compelling story like you did with the Kamikaze pilot? Like that was such a unique story, and the whole period piece aspect of it. Like what do you see them doing with this, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, when do you call it like Godzilla -2? I mean, when you mean like, what do you know, it's it's gonna. I'm afraid it's one of those. The first movie is so good that it almost feels like that needed to be frozen in amber and never touched again.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be rough because they did leave it like they intentionally gave us stuff to want to know more about. When old girl was alive at the end, but you saw that she had like the infection. Like, is that from Godzilla? Is that radiation poison? What are we looking at? And then seeing Godzilla regenerating. But I don't know. It'd be tough, man. It'd be very tough. Godzilla being a side effect of like the nuclear war. I'm thinking if they do any giant monsters for him to fight, we'd have to have like Hedorah or Biollante, like something not as monstrous, but like, oh, this is a fallout from pollution, or this is nature coming up, like with Biollante or something like that. Well, I don't know. Speaking of -1, the Blu-ray 4K and DVD versions of the movie will be out towards the end of this month, November 19th. November
Or
19th.
you could already have it if you ordered it from the Godzilla website.
Yeah, well, the Steelbook.
Yeah.
The Steelbook was a later date.
Right.
Godzilla Raids -1. Yeah, just having Anguirus show up. That'd be awesome. Yo, if they do Anguirus in a -1, Finn would like end up doing a backflip in the theater. I did see where God, I don't even know what the company is. They make like the really high detailed Godzilla toys. They're not big or anything. They're like normal, like 7-inch scales, but tons of points of articulation. They just announced an Anguirus one this week, and I'm like, Finn might want that. But backtrack through the comments here. Paul's thoughts on Lower Deck season 5, please.
Episode 3 came out this week. Really good. If you want to just watch something and just laugh for 30 minutes or 22 and a half minutes, however long it is, I mean, we have Boimler who's trying to grow a mustache, and he's got like little tiny hairs there, and he basically is paired up with one of the officers, and they go down. They have to try to convince an admiral who has basically gone AWOL to come back, but he's convinced that the officer is just going to send him on all the difficult things and make him do all these like dangerous things, because he meets the last person that was paired with him who now has no hands because he was sent on all the dangerous things. So it's really good. It's just, I am really going to miss it. I'm so glad that they're going to do a comic series now, written by Ryan North, which is incredible.
That's the Fantastic Four guy that AR loves.
Yep. Do you think a 33 different universe still ends with? Oh, that could be. Yeah, I mean, they got to have some big revelation that comes up. We almost had the alternate universe Boimler. I mean, a Mariner. Switch with the real Mariner in one of the early episodes, but at the last minute, she came back. So they're gonna have to do something big and spectacular, I think, for this last season. So looking forward to it. Absolutely can't wait.
Nice. Going back, DVH says do Mecha Godzilla, then in a third film finally do King Ghidorah. See, that's what I'm afraid of. I think Mecha Godzilla is too fantastical for the -1 stuff.
How about Godzuki -1?
Oh my goodness! Wow, build it off the old cartoon. Stop flying around. SH Monster Arts, Hiya Toys, Super 7 all make the figures now with all the POA. I think it was Hiya Toys. Now that you mention it. I think the one that I saw was Hiya Toys, at least on their website. Other random just information droplets. It looks like people are pushing for the Ayers cut of the first Suicide Squad all over again to be released. Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abbey have officially approached Warner Brothers Discovery again about finally releasing the Ayers cut, which I would love to see. I've said it once, say 1,000 times. I absolutely love the first Suicide Squad film. As of right now, it looks like it's being reported that a live-action Teen Titans is set to begin filming in late 2025. So it leads me right back where I was at the beginning of this. I have no clue what Gunn's plan for the DCU is. Wild, in my mind.
Right, because the only thing that they've really, well, obviously they finished Superman and
Supergirl.
Right. Those are the only two that have actually gone in front of a camera so far, right?
Mm-hmm. It's almost like Supergirl is going to be the sequel to Superman. It's almost like and I don't know because we're going to do what are they going to have Kara Land in Superman? Like how the timeline of this just racks my brain because it seems like nothing lines up with traditional DC timelines in any retcon of this stuff in any iteration of it. I don't know. Re-release Suicide Squad as this one is in the Gunverse. Yeah, exactly. And last but not least, I know everyone's excited about this. Sony is reporting that they are officially in putting together their Sinister Six stuff. That they'll have enough of them out there between Venom, Madam Web, Morbius, Kraven. And I just saw another trailer for Kraven. Saw it on the IMAX last night when I went and saw Venom 3, which, by the way, I enjoyed. Wasn't a good movie, but it was very, very enjoyable. And it was a good movie in that sense. It's like this movie doesn't deserve any awards, but they definitely did what they came to do. But Kraven looks cool. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited to see Kraven.
You really think they want to do a Sinister Six?
I don't think they need to.
Yeah,
I don't. But if there's one thing I think they'll do is a Sinister Six. They paid money to make Madam Web. Like Sinister Six makes way more sense than that.
That's another one they've been talking. I'll be waiting for the Sinister Six Spawn double feature.
This one's been long awaited for sure. Yeah, they'll just put Spawn on the team. We need one more. Give me Spawn. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Well, we're almost at 10 o'clock, and man, time is weird tonight. We got a few books, small week for Paul, and I haven't read a lot of my books. I've not had a chance to read a lot of them. I've been opening mail like crazy, and I still have like a mountain of mail. But before we get into books, I want to show you a couple of these. I don't know if you saw them, but my 1 in 40 for Terminator 1 came in. Mm-hmm. It's not nice. I've got the foil one with the trade dress and the border on it, but there's a.
That's Alex Ross, right?
That is. It's not Alex Ross wrong. Mm. Yeah, freaking gorgeous. This is like an old image. I've seen this image for years and years, but like I think it was just a picture. It was never put on a book till now. Yeah. And then, man, this is wicked. Out of the BTC box, like that'll end up popping up on the channel tomorrow. But hey, this one came from NYCC. I love Commando, thanks to my dad. I'm a huge Arnold fan. There's no secret with that. But that David Sanchez cover, that's wicked. And Jeff Loeb actually wrote that movie, Commando. I thought that's cool. And then that Tidal Wave Productions, how they do like the celebrity one-shots. Mm-hmm. This one's from Comic Quest. Dude, that is freaking sick. From artist Rudy Owl. I'm like, I need it. Limited only 50 copies.
There you go.
Oh.
29.
I had to get it. But yeah, those are some random ones I opened up. I think I opened them up Friday morning on the live stream. Well, yeah. All right, let's hit a couple books, Paul. What you got? Let's go.
Epilogue to everything that's been going on with Albert Einstein.
Yeah. So the first arc of Redcoat saw Simon Pure end up reluctantly teaming up with a young Einstein. A secret society was chasing him down, appeared to have a mystical axe called the Axe of Lies, the very axe that George Washington used to chop down the cherry tree. Simon Pure revealed to be like an immortal, and this axe pierced him, and it was actually killing him slowly but surely. So they had to go on a fantastic adventure with this bumbling hero, Simon Pure, falling upwards and barely surviving to try to figure out how to stop it, uncover the mysteries of the axe, the secret society, and had to use help by his only if you can call him that friend, Benedict Arnold, who was also revealed to be an immortal, and then later revealed to be the big villain behind all of it, wanting to take Simon Pure's immortality. It all led to a big fight, a big battle on a boat, which these guys' immortality is tied to America. They can't leave the soil. So it was a really great fight where they slowly were drifting off to their deaths into the ocean before eventually Simon and Albert got off the boat, leaving Benedict out there to die. And that's kind of where it left us. And like Paul said, this epilogue was what this book gave us. What did you get this?
We see Simon Pure basically go back and have a final discussion with Albert Einstein in his hospital room. At which point, then Albert passes away after talking after having his little discussion with him. So.
Yeah, no action, no nothing. Heartfelt issue, just a conversation. We've never seen Albert old in the series until this issue. Now, one thing that I was commenting on earlier in the series was we've seen Redcoat in the Geiger 80-page special. We've seen Redcoat appear in the Blizzard. We saw him pop up at the end of Geiger Volume 1, and you never once had this idea that this guy is like a Jack Sparrow kind of guy, like he's a lush. He's a womanizer. He's not reliable. He's not dependable. He's kind of like a chicken shit when it comes to fighting. He's always on the run. He gave none of those vibes, but that's how we meet him in Redcoat. And we're like, well, when are we going to get the turn? What's going to be the moment in this guy's life that's already gone for 100+ years where the switch flips? And I feel like that was this issue, and we saw it happen in real time. Like when he went to say his goodbyes to Albert and everything, and the conversation, like it's hard to even break down, but it was like super meaningful and personal, and you can tell, like, and they even commented and alluded to things that have happened in the gap from issue 6 to 7 that Simon didn't want to have. Well, let's not talk about that. Let's not bring that up. So there's all kinds of other serious things and adventures that happened, but I felt like this was the issue I've been waiting for. This was the turn, and I like that they did it in like a calm, personal manner. It wasn't like this huge battle where he realized his error of his ways. No, it was that close personal relationship he had with another human being where he's an immortal and he's not getting close to no one and everyone's dying around him. He found that connection with another human being, and of all people, it was Albert Einstein who has the ability to potentially understand him in a way that other people didn't. And I thought that was perfect. I felt like this was a perfect issue for Redcoat and what we needed, and it's got me hyped for issue 8 to see what he looks like on the other end of this conversation. Loved it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ghost Machine strikes again. But that wasn't the only Ghost Machine book we got this week, was it, Paul?
It was not. We got to Devour.
We did get to Devour. For those that don't know, this is just a one-shot. This is under the Hyde Street storyline. The full working title of this is actually It Happened on Hyde Street, Devour. We got a tease of this in the Hyde Street book where we saw the ad inserts, the old school traditional stuff you can order out of the inside of a comic. One of those things being the product that's featured on this cover. It's pretty Tales from the Crypt feeling story. It's almost like a one-off, right?
Yeah, I was going to actually say it's it reads like a Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
episode.
Perfect example too.
So,
you pretty much have a girl that just wants to be skinnier, tries everything. She's got like a lot of pressure from the family and this and that. She goes into this fitness store and gets this one pill is all you need drug, and then fast forward and like she takes it, and then we jump to the future where she has her daughter's grown up and she has a granddaughter, and her daughter are like super skinny, like scary skinny. Like you can see the way they're drawn, you can see like rib bones or like the collarbone showing. But the daughter/granddaughter is getting married, and it's a little heavy for her dress. So it's a whole like psychological warfare where the family's like kind of insinuating constantly you need to do something. She's trying to lose weight to the point of them trying to force her to take these pills and revealing what these pills really were. It's like there's a reason why you only need one, because you take this pill and really it looks like there's some kind of parasitic alien organism that was inside it that now it lives inside of you and you're feeding for two kind of thing. It was crazy. They lose all this weight, but then when no one's around, they just devour food when no one's looking because they're starving to death. They're basically living their lives starving to death due to an alien parasitic or large organism eating them. It was wild.
It was, but it was really good. This is actually this is the first non Jeff Johns written Ghost Machine issue.
Yeah, I'm going to butcher her last name, but it's Maytal is her first name, and Paul will pronounce her last name.
Zachut.
There it is.
Zachut.
But she did a phenomenal job. We have Lila Lee's on the art with Alex Sinclair and Rob Lee on letters. So Rob Lee, man, he's lettering all these still. But yeah, the Maytal was announced as a Ghost Machine edition last year at NYCC in the first round of announcements. So it's really cool to get to see her work on paper finally. And I hope that she's working like on a series of like what happened on Hyde Street one-shot kind of things, because they showed us with Hyde Street issue 1 earlier in the month, which was fantastic. There's a lot of players in Hyde Street. It's not just the little Boy Scout. It's not just Mr. X-Ray. It's kind of like a whole cabin in the woods where all the people are betting on which like traditional horror trope is going to be the one that kills the people. And you have like the whole board with all the different horror people. They have that in Hyde Street, like a board with all these entities on Hyde Street trying to claim souls for we don't know who exactly yet. And the woman, the demon, the whatever she is running the diet store is one of those players. And this book had a hardcore Twilight Zone, Tales from the Crypt style ending. Like it doesn't stop. Like the legacy continues with this tortured, tormented family, and it goes to a new level of sinister at the end, in my opinion. Like that was hardcore.
Yeah, and if you're a Ghost Machine fan, which if you're not, you should be. But if you're not,
you should be.
Exactly. So Rook is off now until next year. Red Coat is taking November off. It should be back in December. Geiger is still going, but now we have Hyde Street and we have Hornsby and Halo and the Rockefellers this month. So they're going to continue to put out product. It's not like you're going to be, you won't be starving for Ghost Machine product. That's for sure.
Same frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, we'll be one up now.
Right.
No, two are taking a break. Yeah. They're slow rolling it. Like it's coming out in a great staggering way. Still getting like 3-4 books a month now. My pull list is massive. And there's nothing to really cut. Like I'm getting Energon, I'm getting Ghost Machine, I'm getting Miller World, and I'm all in. Like there's nothing to cut. I get Hulk and Ghost Rider from Marvel. Like there's what if you are not a Ghost Machine? You should be. Honest question, John. Have you read any of the stuff yet? Because I'm sure I can track down some trade paperbacks and send them your way. Because nobody's bigger than reading free books, right? Like it's one thing to have to I'll take your word for it. I'll take time to go look. I'll spend money on it and take a risk on liking it or not. It's different if someone just like, hey, I think you'll like this. I'll send it to you if you'll give it a shot. Because John loves like the 90s stuff, the early 2000s stuff. Like, dude, like this is a love letter to that stuff. Then there's a problem you need to address. Ghost Machine is fire. Don't buy Marvel comics. It's bad for your health unless it's called Wolverine. Dude, I'm not missing a Hulk issue and
or Ghost Rider, right?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm not going to miss a Ghost Rider issue, but I dropped the Cosmic Ghost Rider run. The Danny Ketch retro series was fantastic, but that Cosmic Ghost Rider one they did recently was ass. Made it like 2 issues. Like, I'm not doing this. But the main series has been fantastic. And now Vengeance is back right now. Like, let's go. I I bought like his first appearance while we were in Florida, just in case I needed it for Guess That Key. I wasn't sure which one you might see me picking up, so I made sure to grab 2 or 3. Also, an Ultimate Universe is worth reading from Marvel. I bailed. Ultimates didn't get me. Black Panther didn't like it all, and Spider-Man just meh. I'm glad that people are liking it though.
I stopped after the. I got the first story arc of Ultimate Spider-Man, and then I dropped it.
I did the same thing, except I made it one less issue than you did. I bought number 6 and just didn't read it, and just like, screw it, threw it up on Pop's Hack and sold it all for a fraction of what I paid for it. Void Rivals number 13 came out this week. Speaking of Energon, we got Cobra Law entering the fray for Void Rivals, tracking down some stuff. We got our title characters on the hunt still for the source of words that I can't pronounce because they're in Transformese. And it was fire. It was really good. I'm trying to flip through this stack. What else you got? Yep, there's one. Oh, there's one. Cool, got him. Action Comics issue 1073, one I have not read yet, so you take it from here.
Oh. He's in the Phantom Zone. Basically, he's with Mon-El. We found out that there's this guy named Thur who is basically has transformed the Phantom Zone so that there are now pockets of but you can materialize, and so that you're not just a phantom all the time, at least in the zone anyway, so that people can live a somewhat normal life. But we have Superman trying to break out to go back because his little power jewel bracelet has basically expended all of its power. So he's trying to exactly. He's trying to get back into the real world so that he can power up again, and he finds a way out. It's reminded me a little bit of Infinite Crisis. Remember when Superboy was pounding on the side of the thing that they were trapped in reality, and that's how it like he kind of finds a way to kind of pound and then break open the Phantom Zone, and he leaps out thinking that he's going to be all set now, and he's going to be rejuvenated from the yellow sun and everything, and he ends up in this field, and when he suddenly realizes, boy, this gravity is a lot heavier than it should be, and I don't feel like I'm recharging, and he finds out that this was actually a time thing as well, and he's on Krypton, which is where the issue ends.
That's not good. You know, that reminded me, one of the coolest callbacks in comic book history was when we got to Crisis on Infinite Crisis. I think what was it, number 5, and they do the Superboy pounding, like, little Luthor in his ear, and he's pounding on the walls of their paradise, but paradise for an eternity can only be a prison. And they're showing you the ripple effects through the DCU, and Jeff Johns in his infinite wisdom of DC history is like, this touched Donna Troy, this touched Hawkman, this one woke Jason Todd up. I'm like, oh my God. Because like the cartoon, a lot of people think of the cartoon like, oh, he wasn't dead, or oh, the League of Assassins went and got him and raised him in the Lazarus pit. That's not what happened. The dude woke up from being straight up dead in his casket, woke up in the condition that he was in when Joker put it to him. Like broken ribs, busted eye, fractured lung, and he still managed to break out of and crawl his way out of his own tomb and walked around the outskirts of Gotham with amnesia for a time before the League noticed him and recognized him, took him back to Nanda Parbat and healed him in the Lazarus pit, taking away some of his sanity. But I always thought that was like one of the like coolest things. I'm like, that's so much detail. Like, yo, you just tormented this guy. Of course he would be like coming for the Joker after that, like it was, there's so much more to it in the comic than there was in the movie adaptation that a lot of people kind of source. Great stuff. But yeah, this Superman Action Comics art has been fantastic. I like that it's weekly as well. But I got some catching up to do. There's a giant wolf spider walking in through my floor. It's like that freaking big.
That's not good.
Now, wolf spiders ain't like they're not like venomous or anything. Walk the other way. Walk the other way. Why is he walking to me? I don't want to pick him up. I'm afraid to. It's over there. Miller World is rocking and rolling. We had 2 books drop this week from the Miller World Nightclub. This is the final volume. It's volume 5, issue number 2. So Cordelia was attacked in the last issue by the entity that she was out to try to shut down. Like, so kids went missing. They got hired. They had a clue. They went looking for it. They get there. They get attacked. They get attacked by something that puts you in like a slumber. And she pretty much wakes up in a hospital where she's in therapy and being told your name's not Cordelia. You're not an escapologist. Your dads weren't magicians. Your fiance wasn't a rock star who died. You're just a normal person. Your name's Caroline, this, that, and the third. And she eventually breaks through the hallucination, realizing what it is with the help of a new player that comes in. This guy who is just now being introduced into the series. He's known by all the other magicians as being this loner who is kind of like put on the outskirts because his ability comes from being possessed by 3 different demons that cause him to do crazy things. But now at this point, he's had it so long that they kind of have a symbiotic relationship where we're all good now. Like I'm in control. Like they work for me. They don't drag me around like a meat puppet kind of thing. He's kind of like they got him like a Wild West kind of guy and did a lot of demon smashing and stuff. So they're reassessing who it was that sent this entity to kidnap these kids and what's really going on. We haven't had the big reveal of who the big bad is yet or anything, but if you like the Miller World stuff, it's right there. It's on par. It's fast paced. It's hard hitting, shocks around every corner. And they don't stop there because Nightclub issue number 3 of this second volume. Whoa. So Nightclub is this vampire comic. 3 high school kids attempting to get online famous for doing reckless stunts. And they wanted to post them to YouTube, make money. One kid takes a serious fall and he's in the hospital on death's bed, and a vampire comes to him and offers him like to save him kind of thing. And that was all volume 1 thing. They ends up giving his friends power. So there's 3 of them and they run around with masks on so they can be out in the daytime, and they film their crazy antics and make a lot of money virally. At this point, cops like can come to him and talk to him, and they know they have these weird abilities and stuff. But in this book, one of the 3 friends broke off because the other 2 ended up in a relationship, and he had a crush on her. And he was reckless, like he was taking his abilities and increasing his status in school. Got the hot girl to school, and she was really just playing him. She noticed something was different about him, and all the jocks did a play to try to figure out what it was. Found out about the vampire thing, tricked him into biting her, and then she left. Didn't see him for days. When she shows back up, she's got all the jocks and all the bullies from school, and they all have vampire powers. They beat the shit out of him, take him to the roof, tie him up, and leave him and sit there and watch him burn in the sunlight, killing one of the 3 main characters of this series. And this issue ends with the 2 friends finding him and getting attacked right then and there at the end. So it was freaking awesome. And as with always, anything Miller World, it's kind of Games of Thrones in a sense that like you want comics with stakes in them, with reoccurring characters, with long runs, but still have stakes and they don't come back. Miller World. Like one of our main characters from day 1 just got killed like it was nothing. And they did it brutally. Like it was a slow cooking process. The bullies like went and got clothing gear and helmets so they could watch and stuff, and then goaded the friends into finding his burned corpse and stuff. It was wild. What I wouldn't give for the ability to put that spider filter on Mark right now. Just walking to you because they're almost blind. I don't know where it went. It wandered. Big fan of Nightclub. Good concept and well executed. Yeah, dude. Mark Miller doesn't miss. Like all of his stuff, dude. I can't wait for the next Jupiter's Legacy, man. That was a long wait to get that finale. And last week, oh my God, it wasn't even like an issue 1. It was like picked up right where we left off, which was a huge cliffhanger. And it was epic in scale, man. That's like the perfect title for that book. I imagine he knew this story would be right here when he originally wrote issue 1. And that's why it's called Jupiter's Legacy, man. I can't wait to see where it goes. I end up rereading all of it. Favorite Mark Miller book, Jupiter's Legacy, hands down. What else you got, Paul?
That's it for me.
That's it for Paul. Books that I also picked up this week that I have not read yet, so we will not be talking about. Dune, House Carino, number 7. I've been waiting on this to come out and finish before I binge read it, but with the show creeping up on us fast, Dune Prophecy premiering on HBO Max November 17th, where the House Carino, I believe, is going to be the front and center house of the Great Houses. Mark Strong, I believe, is playing the leader of the Great House Carino. So I want to read these before we get there, because these are just adapted stuff. Like Brian Herbert writes these. Like this is legit. This is like canon stories just put in graphic novel format or comic book format. But yeah, I want to check that. That cover's wicked. Look at that. The art on these things are just dope. It looks like stuff, yeah. Very, very cool stuff. Yeah, I want to check that out before we get to the show. Batman The Long Halloween. Me and Paul were going to pretend like this didn't come out this week, but I just messed up. Neither one of us have read it yet. We'll be talking Long Halloween, Last Halloween next week for sure. Haven't read my Ghost Rider yet. The long-awaited Kong the Great War finale, issue 6. Of course, I got the DeVito variant. I've gotten the DeVito covers for all of them. Famous Kong artists there. I was been loving that. Defenders of the Earth, issue number 3. This is super fun. It's only an 8-issue limited. Dan DiDio's writing it, all you DC fans out there. And then my Action Comics. So it was a big week for me. I ended up with a lot of stuff. I even put one Redcoat cover back because I didn't want to. They were just doing 2 covers for a while. I'm like, this is perfect. I'll just get both covers. And they started doing 3. I'm like, whoa. Now that we're past the first volume, I'm trying to cut it down just to 1 cover for them, but we'll see. Live as a hot dog. What is going on, Matt? That's it for me for this week. Paul, you got anything else you want to say before we make like a baby and head out?
No, don't forget we got DC Comics Deep Dive tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And this is, I guess, that key week, Wednesday night at 9:30. Big giveaway. So
holy potatoes. Yeah, dude. Did you put a picture post up of that yet?
I did, and I'll do that tomorrow probably.
The entire Absolute Power variant covers that are connecting covers. So it's like 12?
12 issues. Yep.
12 covers, 4 up, 3 down, make a giant, like, you can frame these together and make a poster on your wall. Like it is a massive montage of the event from the Amazos to Superman in the black suit, just some of the battles. Like it's insane.
John Timms.
Yeah, the upcoming Aquaman artist, John Timms, is fire. He did Action Comics on that short Jason Aaron run. He's so good. So good. But that's going to do it. New DC Day every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Come by, hang out. We'll talk about and preview some of the stuff coming out and chill for an hour and do a weekly giveaway there. Friday morning, community hangout. Content sporadic right now. There'll be a video out tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get my Wednesday video done on time. But I was telling Paul, everything's getting back to normal, but it ain't there yet. And my channel was so consistent because I knew where my openings were to do stuff. Right now, my openings are random. So I'm doing the best I can. I appreciate everybody hanging out, watching the videos, commenting on them and all that good stuff and interacting with them. It helps push them through there. And I've been trying to come up with some fun content too that's more unique to my channel. I have something more unique here. So it takes a little bit more time to make them too. So we'll rock and roll with it. Thank you again to everybody that comes and hangs out, subscribes, channel membership, all that stuff, and everybody who voted for us in the CBC Awards. Appreciate each and every one of you. But for now, we are Legion.
Is that it? Is that all you got?